If you are someone who wants to make sourdough but feels like you can't because you're too busy, the recipe I have is just for you. And bonus, it doesn't use the discard method, so it's zero waste.
The way I avoid having to feed and discard my starter every day is by using my refrigerator, which basically acts like a time capsule for your starter, and all you have to do is feed it the night before you want to make bread to reactivate it. This is my starter, her name is Jane Doe, and I always keep 2 tablespoons of her on hand and feed her just a little over a tablespoon on night 1. I do this right before I go to bed, and by the time I wake up, she'll be active and ready to use to create my leaven. Sourdough is basically doing the same steps over and over again, just in larger quantities, so basically all you're doing is exactly what you did last night, just bigger and better. I like to put my water into the bowl first, mix my tablespoon of starter, and then add my flour, and I'll put all the measurements in the caption. This is also when you'll throw the remaining starter that's in your jar back into the refrigerator so it's ready to go the next time you want to make bread. Then you can just let that sit on your counter for 10 to 14 hours while you go about the rest of your day and come back to it in the evening to make your final dough. Again, just repeating those steps of water, leaven, and flour, and you'll end up with something that looks like this, which I know looks dry, but hang on because I use the magic salt water method. I'm not really sure why this happens, but instantly when you pour the salt water over your dough, it becomes the softest, squishiest, most perfect little dough ball, which is so fun to play with. And then all you have to do is stretch and fold this every 30 minutes for 3 hours before you're ready to prepare your loaves. The quantities I use make 2 loaves, so I split the dough in half and then shape them into their own perfect balls before adding them to my proofing baskets. And then I let them rest for 2 hours, which they're then technically ready to bake at any time, but I put mine in the fridge overnight and bake them in the morning so I can have fresh bread for my breakfast. I'm running out of time, so I'll put the baking details and how I store them in the caption, but I did want to add,
what I love so much about making homemade bread becoming popular again is that I feel like it's an act of resistance. I feel like with capitalism, it's designed so we have to be so busy that we're reliant to buy everything. And I feel like figuring out a way to incorporate homemade goods into our schedule is like taking some of our power back. Plus, it tastes way better, is way cheaper, and you actually know all the ingredients that are in it with no preservatives. Let me know if you make this, and thanks for watching!